Hey everybody, welcome to Third Coast Gaming Rep Radio, episode 14. Today is, it's January 10th, 2021, the year of our Lord, I guess. You know, I'm here with Austin Taylor.
That's me. Hey, it's what's up, you guys?
That's my, if I was a Muppet, that would
think
be my voice.
I don't think you're allowed to do that ever again.
Yeah. Alright. Austin Taylor, the voice acting guild captain, telling me I should look for a new job.
Yeah. I just got off the phone with my friends over at the Screen Actors Guild, and well, we're gonna have to kill you.
Things are just bad right now at the Screen Actors Guild. Nobody's working. Everyone's on Netflix. What's going on? But hey. I tried making French toast yesterday, and it tasted like garbage. I think I was eating raw eggs on bread. I don't know what happened.
I don't think that's French toast.
No, I cooked it, and I don't think I cooked them all the way. And it was a whole thing, Austin. It was a whole... I wanted some sugar, and I had some pancake syrup, but I had no pancakes. So I was like, oh man, next best thing is French toast, I guess.
Sure. I can follow that train of logic.
Yeah. What
had you ever made French toast before?
Yeah, I have. I just,
Okay.
You just do the eggs and then you mix it up with some... I don't know if I got my pan hot enough, but I was eating them halfway and I'm like, these just don't taste good, you know?
Okay, so you should know better. All right.
Yeah, I guess I should have left them on there longer. What's Austin's go-to... Speaking of breakfast shit, what's Austin's go-to at like an IHOP or a Denny's?
Well, I mean, if I'm going out for a breakfast, it's probably like chicken and waffles, if that's available.
Yep.
But like usually if I'm just at home, so it's gonna be like a bagel, some eggs, and like bacon if I have the time to cook it. But
Gotcha. What if you're drunk at 2 a.m.?
I don't drink, but in the instance that I would be drunk at 2 a.m., I don't know, I'd probably, like, we do have, like, a box of Pop-Tarts that have been in our pantry for the better part of a year, unopened. I'm pretty sure those would be gone.
That'd be pretty good.
Like, I think I'd be, like, the drunk who just needs to eat. If I was a drunk, I'd probably, like, be hungry all the time, so, like, I'd probably just eat those Pop-Tarts.
It's only, like, the end of the drunkenness that I'm hungry. I would get, like, the fucking, like, lumberjack slam from Denny's, which is just, like... eggs, hash browns, some meats, toast,
I know
pancakes. Yeah. Load them up.
That's my grandmother's favorite. Yeah, but I'm like a big snacker, so like I think being drunk would just cause me to lose any sort of control over my snacking habit and just boom, Pop-Tarts, baby.
Yeah, big snacker is fun. Speaking of snacking, man, I am all fucking in on Bill Miller right now. Holy shit. I go twice a week now. It's... Oh my god. I didn't realize their sides are so fucking good, Austin.
The sides in Bill Miller are pretty good. That's kind of the only reason to go. Like, I'm not against their main, like, dishes, but, like, their sides are where it's at.
Yeah, when you get a barbecue plate, you get, like, 3 sides. I was like, oh, yeah. Hash browns, rice, mac and cheese, let's go. Or maybe some... Their beans are pretty good, too. I was surprised. And then just a chicken sandwich. Hey, what up?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Bill Miller wins the chicken sandwich war.
I don't know. I haven't been to a Popeyes in recent memory, so I'd have to check Church's and Popeyes.
Yeah, me neither. But dude, that Church's sandwich is actually really... Or no, that Popeyes sandwich. That's the one that was memeing for the long
that's the
time.
one people were like getting attacked over.
That thing is fucking dirty. Like, that thing is good. Holy shit. They bred those fuckers in like the same day they cook them. It's crazy. But no lettuce on the sandwich, so they just give you a sandwich with like too much mayonnaise and then pickles and onions on it.
No such thing.
Yeah.
That's too much mayo.
Yeah, I put mayo on my cereal. How about that for too much mayo, Austin?
Okay, actually, never mind. I take that back.
This podcast was a mistake, and I have to burn it to the ground now.
Yeah, we can't I can't know you
It's
anymore.
become sentient. I've never done that. But my English teacher in high school did drink mayonnaise out of a jar in front of her students. She didn't do it for our grade, but someone sent me the YouTube link, and I was like, yeah, that's definitely my English teacher being a fucking psychopath.
Hmm.
I'm,
Everyone's got one of those, right? Like
yeah, put some vodka
a
in that
psychopath
mayonnaise. That's
teacher.
all I'm saying.
So what are we here to talk about, Travis?
We're here to talk about video games. But before I get to that, Austin, let me tell you about the dirtiest fucking drink. Is a yellow Russian created by Giant Bomb, Austin.
I don't need.
Yeah,
No, we don't need it.
it's just
No.
queso on top of Kahlua with some vodka.
Is this he just said queso. Was this a Dan Reichert
It
thing?
was a
Is
Dan
this
Reichert
a
thing, yeah.
God damn it? Yeah, of course it was.
They have some big live event where they were inviting a bunch of people, and they had a whole segment where it's like, is this better with queso? Most of the time, not better with queso. They put it on
I
tricks.
I wouldn't think. I wouldn't think it is.
Hey, let's get into the news, man. I started off with a banger here. This Verge article, very funny headline. So it's the Madden 21 has a SponGeBOB SquARePaNTS field, and SpongeBob is staring into the depths of my soul right now, and it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, the header image is very, very cursed, I have to say.
Yeah, and so the headline, they do it like that SpongeBob meme where he's like, "Oh, you can't do that," and he's got his hands on his sides, and all the capital letters are up and down. So good on you, Jay
Yeah,
Peters, for repping the meme.
I don't like Jay anymore. I don't know who this Jay Peters is, but I don't think we could ever be friends.
Yeah, I don't. Oh my god, I don't play Madden, but this is kind of funny.
It just, I mean, the thing that I will give Jay credit for is at the very bottom of the article, they do link the um, Sweet Victory
Oh yes, of course.
halftime performance from the show. The fact that this song is not in the like trailer, the Madden, like the EA's own trailer for this mode is a
Yeah,
bummer.
it's disappointing almost. Have you seen? Watch this trailer. You get a bunch of SpongeBob outfits for characters. You get like neon like green like seahorse pants. You get like SpongeBob pants. It's very
Yeah, yeah,
strange.
they're all like color themed for like characters. They have a couple of like SpongeBob back pads. I don't know the
Yeah, I think they're
technical name
back
for a lot
pads.
of
That's cool.
football stuff. I know the basic rules of the game, but that's only because my brother played football for like most of his adolescent life.
Yeah, see if we knew anything about football, this would be a football podcast, not a video game podcast. Obviously. See, there was a route, there's a fork in the road in middle school, I would say, where it's like, oh, video games or football, and it's like, oh yeah, football is it? Video games, as it turns out, I was supposed to say football. Yep.
Yeah.
Sweet Victory. Fuck, this song is good.
Yeah, no, dude, it never doesn't slap so hard.
Yeah, and they just put it into an episode of SpongeBob. Let's go. With the weird B-roll. SpongeBob always had the good B-roll. I'll give that to him.
Well, I mean, yeah, this is like an incredibly like charming part of like this show is just how weird it could get in its earlier days. Because like the entire thing with that clip is that they're playing to an audience of humans.
Yeah, before SpongeBob sold out, I guess. That's what I would say.
Well, I mean, I don't sold out probably isn't the term. I just imagine like got a bit went for a bit longer than it maybe should have.
Yeah, I haven't watched past like those first couple seasons. I mean, I was still watching cartoons like into high school and after, but
Yeah,
not as much. More
I will.
anime, more anime.
That's what SpongeBob should have done. It should have gone the route of anime.
Yeah, should have done the thing that oh, there's that other Cartoon Network show that had the Gumball, the Misadventures of Gumball, I think, where they have a whole anime episode. It's great.
Yeah, that one. I know you linked that. We talked about that
Yeah.
earlier.
Have you watched
Like,
that show yet? It slaps so good.
no, no, I don't. Like I'm in the middle of an Adventure Time like watch through because it's probably like the biggest hole in my like mid 2000s or like early 2010s animation knowledge. So that's where I'm at with shows right now.
Gotcha. I think I watched the first couple seasons at Adventure Time, and I just ended up like, I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched as many Cartoon Network like stuff as I like should go back and watch. I do enjoy that show.
It's just so much.
Jake the Dog, very good.
It's just so much of that dang show.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Is that what you do when you're not crushing skulls in Cyberpunk?
Oh ho ho! No, that's just what I do when I eat breakfast.
Oh, nice, nice. All right. Well, hey, let's go on this next one. What is it? Some Nintendo shit. Some Nintendo shit is I guess someone was leaking a Switch Pro specs are coming out. I guess this article doesn't really have a lot in it telling you what's going on with it.
Well,
Let's see.
yeah,
4K. A mini LED display screen. I don't know. 720 LCD. That's the original. I don't know. I don't know if I would buy a Switch Pro, but
I will say this is a write-up from October 30th.
oh, is it? Holy goddamn! How did I grabbed the wrong article. How did that happen? It's all my fault, Austin.
All Travis's fault.
Burn the
Blame
podcast
him
down.
for the podcast. So let's see, Nintendo Switch.
Here's the actual article. I just looked up Switch Pro leak.
Yeah. Nintendo Switch Pro.
Oh my god. An OLED. 4K. I don't know. Not much on there. I don't know. Would you?
Absolutely.
Do you have a Switch yet? You have a Switch Lite, don't you?
Yeah, I have a Switch Lite.
That means you could play Monster Hunter with me when it comes out. Ha ha ha.
Ooh, that would require Monster Hunter to be good.
Ha ha ha. It is good. What a coincidence.
I have yet to see any evidence.
Yeah.
Leading me to that conclusion.
Damn. Maybe we'll have to try Monster Hunter one time. Haha.
I've played. I don't know. I'd have to see like it played very differently from Monster Hunter World.
Yeah. No. We'll get into it. I played the demo for that new one, and it plays like World. They're not gonna change that game. That game's good, and that is what that game is.
I mean, it was popular.
Yeah, I like that.
I will give it that.
I put 120 hours in that, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
I cannot. All right, I'm gonna stop adjusting. I got a windscreen for this mic, but it just will not sit, so it's fine. Did you see that fake leak that came out? That was like, oh yeah, look at all these games that are coming out. Someone was spread around. It looked like an Excel spreadsheet of like someone's like emails that they were sending each other about like games that were coming out.
No, is this the Capcom thing? Or?
No, it was like I guess it was some fake email thing about a bunch of Nintendo stuff that was coming out. But it's fine. Hey, did you take a look at these best of 2020 things that Steam was putting out for the end of the year?
Yeah, I saw this roundup earlier.
So this is all sales of 2020, whether it's a new game or not, and they have them like the top 10 is platinum, and then it goes to like gold, silver, and like bronze. So it's got, I don't know if this is ranked from most money to least money. I don't think it is, because I think if it was most money, my guess would be like Dota 2 would be higher on here. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's in the same, like, they're not, like, doing numbered rankings on this. They are just, like, doing the, like, medal scheme of, like, platinum, gold, silver, and bronze. So, like, they're all in the same category.
Yeah.
They're not, like, judging which one had made more than, like, the other within their respective categories.
So, I'm gonna go with the free-to-play guys first. Among Us and Fall Guys are in there, along with Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead 2, which Red Dead 2 came out on PC this year.
Yeah.
Or December 5th, technically, so I guess they bundled that in there. Monster Hunter World, Dota 2, Doom Eternal, Counter-Strike, Destiny 2, and Rainbow Six Siege. I wish I could play Siege on my PS4, but that game does not control well on console, in my opinion. I cannot do it.
Yeah, no, I think I've played a bit of Siege on PS4, and I will say that there's just a bit too much for you to do for me to like be comfortably playing it on a controller.
You have to be like pinpoint accurate, and I just can't.
Yeah.
Crusader Kings 3 right here in the gold.
Crusader Things 3.
Crusader
Everyone's
Things 3.
favorite sitcom.
Yeah.
CBS.
Yeah, it's Stranger Things, except you have a dynasty of kids, and it only takes place in the 80s. So you're just like having generations of children being born in the 80s, trying to take over.
The America's Midwest has just decided that they want to get back to feudal society.
Yeah, but in the 80s this time.
Yeah.
But in the 80s. Let's see, what other cool stuff is on here? Master Chief Collection, just hanging out. That's alright. Sea of Thieves. I have thoughts about Sea of Thieves. It's fine. That's all my thoughts.
Well, it made money, so...
Surprising, yeah. They keep supporting that game. And there are people who play that game. I think it's a very... People are into that as a streamer game, is what I'll call it. Just shenanigans. And stuff. Let's see. I just flipped through and was like, oh look, Persona 4 Golden, a game I personally need to buy on PC, because that game is not on PS4 yet, not on Switch. I have a Vita, but it's too much. Yeah. But, I guess we're locally recording now, but that's okay.
Doing the local Rex.
Local Rooks.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dark Souls 3 is just on here. I guess people bought Dark Souls 3.
Well, Dark Souls 3 keeps going on sale for like $15, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like I am just one like sale happening the day I get a paycheck away from just being like, I could play Dark Souls 3 again, but with 60.
It's true.
With 60 frames.
I could also play Dark Souls 3 for the first time.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I'm in a place with Final Fantasy VII where I'm probably close to beating that, so I could start that up. Hey, so there's a write-up by Holes Games. That's a weird name. It's the digital sales of 2020. And apparently Call of Duty Modern Warfare made $1.91 billion in 2020. And that game didn't even come out in 2020.
Yeah, I mean, it's not particularly surprising when the other Call of Duty game is another one of the weird one, the weird series. I use air quotes around the word weird here.
Comparatively,
there's not much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's not much that's weird about Black Ops.
No, and comparatively, that's how much Avengers Infinity War made, right? I think so. Some other notable ones I saw
with Modern Warfare is Warzone.
Yeah, Warzone. People really like Warzone.
Yeah, Warzone is still technically a part of Modern Warfare. So
yeah, here we go. Infinity War made $2 billion. So yeah, we're getting into big movie money. FIFA 20.
If this is the 2020 revenue, then Modern Warfare's already made more than Infinity War.
Yeah.
Grossly.
Yeah.
It is still wild to me that Grand Theft Auto 5 is making so much money.
Yeah, I don't know if people are because people rebuy the game to get shark cards because they'll have them on sale and it'll be cheaper than buying them outright. But besides that, I don't know. I guess people just buy and play that game still. It's an open world game for people.
I mean, yeah,
I haven't touched it in a while.
It's a open world, modern open world, very intricate city, and the best part is it doesn't crash very often on most systems.
It's true, and you can play it online with your friends.
Yeah,
Cyber
that's also big.
Cyberpunk's on this list. I didn't think. I guess it ended up selling a lot.
Yeah, like
Didn't think about that.
I mean, they've recouped like their development and marketing costs for that game, and it came out like less than I, a month ago. It came out December 10th.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, let's go to
Yeah,
this. Sorry, go for it.
it's wild.
Yeah, it is. It's a pretty good list, and Animal Crossing sold very well as well. I was surprised. I think that might be Nintendo's best-selling game. One of them.
I mean, it's definitely one of them, and it was definitely like bolstered by like Animal Crossing came out like right as we were all having to go into lockdown.
Yeah. Since we're talking about Cyberpunk selling stuff, let's bring it. I want to look at this Giant Bomb article that I kind of threw in there. I'm gonna call this not a required reading for people, but I think it's a really interesting thing. It's by Gamer152, and it's a article he wrote for it's a blog he has. It's Cyberpunk 2077 critics and marketing, and it kind of goes into like how big of a push CD Projekt Red was like spending on marketing for this game. Like they had, Keanu Reeves on stage talking about it. They were doing deals with whatchamacallit.
Yeah, they were licensing music
graphics cards
like years before like I think the game even really came back. Like they were still releasing tracks by Refused under like the label Samurai, which is the in-game like rock band.
Yeah, and I think that is one of the success stories out of like Cyberpunk is like how good their marketing was for the game. I mean, whether or not like those previous gen console versions are going to get fixed or not, like I think they can look back and be like, oh yeah, this game sold so well because of how interesting the setting is, people's like goodwill towards The Witcher 3, and then like how much like I think this game has been marketed to me for the last like 3 years since like that E3 where they're having that big look into it, and whatever that Keanu Reeves line is where he's like, oh, it's amazing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You're amazing.
Like, yeah, well, yeah, they put a lot of money into the marketing, and that's how like you get like a lot of TV spots where Keanu Reeves is just telling you about how rad it is to be a criminal in Night City. You start like licensing music from like relatively popular rock bands, and then you move on to like Grimes, who like I know has I don't listen to Grimes' music, but I know like people like Grimes.
They do.
And you just like relentlessly market it for the better part of 3 years and market it towards like a very specific audience. Just show that this is going to be a wild like ride, like a wild time in this setting that a lot of people haven't seen before. Because Cyberpunk is generally speaking not on like this level of production in the games industry.
No, and there's a world where the marketing for this kind of makes it look like a Call of Duty campaign. Like if you were to only look at the trailers and nothing else for this, it kind of could see it being like a 7-hour like action game.
Mm.
Just something I was thinking about.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the other thing is like, yeah, it's selling like a first-person shooter too. Is the thing. Like, if they showed any action clips from that game, it was like just some dude blowing through enemies in a way that you can't in that main game, in the actual game, until like pretty late into it. But yeah, they had a really expensive marketing campaign that covered bases using a budget that a lot of studios just don't have the resources to do.
Do you think that's like in part from like GOG,
Yeah,
turning a
absolutely. Like there was a editorial or like an opinion piece that came out on PC Games In like a couple of days ago that was about how Cyberpunk 2077 proves that like quality animation is no longer optional. And like it's not like it's tangentially related to like this marketing discussion in the way that I think it's frustrating that like when we talk about how much like money this game was able to put into things like marketing and animation and just like production value and costs, we're not discussing the fact that like The Witcher 3 is in a very unique situation where it is was making money like an insane amount of money years after it came out in a way that single player RPGs don't.
Yeah,
They also
yeah,
like GOG also took off in popularity like pretty recently. Like it was like even 2 years ago, if I told people about GOG, they'd be like, "What's GOG?" And like now, most
yeah,
people I talk to like probably have a GOG account, do not use it as their main channel of buying games,
yeah.
but like are like will be active consumers on there when there's like a sale they can't ignore.
And I'm sure GOG is very popular in Europe too because of like the connection there. Besides that, oh, I was gonna comment on something. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, the TV show probably helped The Witcher very well too. Like I think
Yeah, yeah,
there was that giant boom in sales on Steam when that came out, and
yeah. It
like
was
the player
huge.
numbers.
It was wild. Like no one, for whatever reason, no one thought that was going to happen, but like it did, and people were just flabbergasted. Like people from CD Projekt were flabbergasted.
Like what, whether or not my opinion is like positive or negative on The Witcher is like that show kind of came out, nothing else was going on, and I think it caught people's attention enough to be like, oh, I should try this game out because I'm into this, the way Henry Cavill's putting off. Maybe the main character will be a little bit like this too, and they're pretty similar as it turns out.
Yeah, because like people who like it, I imagine people who like decided to on a lark give The Witcher a watch through probably have people like in their lives who know who are a bit more into The Witcher, and like those people who are a bit more into The Witcher have definitely talked about or played a bit of The Witcher 3.
Yeah, yeah,
And so
that's
like we'll get like those people there, especially when you consider like how many people just have a video game console now in their home. Like in a way that people didn't have like a 360 or a PS3.
yeah, and there are kids growing up right now who are what I will call the Gen X, who are like 15 right now, whose parents are way into fucking video games. Like my
Yeah.
friend's dad, who I work with, is like, yeah, he plays a lot of Smash Brothers, and I'll sometimes play with him. I'm like, wow, not something I thought someone would say. Hey, because those people are like 40 right now,
Yeah,
and
like
20 years ago they were our age.
yeah, like a lot of like this is we are at the like people like me and you are like at the I am debatably at like the end of the millennial like generation.
Yeah,
Right? So like millennials are at this point like most of them are in their like late 30s. It's wild.
it is wild. All right. You know what else is wild is Sony discontinued the PS4 Pro in Japan. I think this is gonna start in America too. Because I mean, what the Pro has been most times 400. They didn't cut it. You can get it on sale sometimes, but for the same price, you can get a PS5 Slim with or a PS5 with no hard drive. If you can find a if you can find it, because you can't buy it right now. But yeah, I think that was neat. It's an interesting turn coming out.
Yeah, I can't like with the I think it might have been like a bit premature, but like I definitely see the logic behind that because like for the same price you can get the better like console without a disk drive. Um, and like in a world where they're widely available, I definitely get why you would discontinue production of the Pro. Uh, but like the other thing to remember here is that like over the course, like they said, the transition from like the PS4 to the PS5 fully was going to take like 3 years.
Yeah,
And over this course of 3 years, you're probably going to get like a good amount of games that have PS4 and PS5 editions that run so much better on like a pro version of the PS4
yeah. I'll be curious
than
to
they do
see
on
that
a Slim.
if they end up supporting it, because I remember the PS4 came out and the PS3 was just like We ain't putting shit on this console anymore.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh, it,
As soon as the PS4 came out, they were like,
it is raining
probably.
harder outside. I gotta take a look at this, Austin.
Oh, tell me about the water that falls from the sky.
It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold, you guys. I'm Ollie. It's cold.
You brought they've brought rain to Arrakis.
Yeah. So that's cool. I know the Slim. I have a Slim. It's fine. It's probably gonna sell very
Yeah, well, the
well.
thing about
If it comes out to
yeah,
200, if they throw that thing to 200, I'll be very intrigued to see it selling better because it has a catalog.
yeah, like the PS4 catalog is still like pretty good. I can't imagine like buying a Slim to play games that are going to be coming out.
Yeah.
Like I doubt we're gonna have a lot of cyberpunk situations with games coming out, especially games from like Sony.
Yeah.
But like you're probably gonna hit like a control scenario
It's true.
where it just might not run particularly well on that version of that console.
Let me tell you something wild that I saw. Okay, so Walmart is selling an Xbox One S 1 terabyte for 400, and an Xbox One X 1 terabyte for 400. Someone is these they're spiking these because of the not being able to get a Series S. Oh, it's raining hard out. Do you hear it? No, you
A
can't. You
bit.
probably can't. Yeah,
I mean, I hear it outside my window.
that's true. God, I want to play Cyberpunk on a Series S. Maybe in a month or two, Austin. Maybe when they're
Well,
available. Who knows?
yeah, like definitely wait for like then it'll be both available and for CD Projekt to like push out the next gen upgrade or
That's
the
true.
current gen upgrade for Cyberpunk because you're just going to be running the Xbox One version.
Yeah, which may or not be okay. I don't know. I haven't read too much about the one how the One X version is, but let's see what else I got here. I got the yo you sent me this link. It's the Tomb Raider remake. It was like a PSP remake that was
Yeah,
coming out that you can just play
so
right now.
yeah, so this is like the first inception of like the what we got would be the Tomb Raider Anniversary Edition, which was I believe a game developed by Crystal Dynamics that came out like in 2007. This was originally like a PSP uh, remake of the first Tomb Raider game that was being made by Core Design, and they didn't get it past alpha, right? Like that project was scrubbed before they were able to do a lot more work on it. So like, and there's a video attached to this article where you can just see someone going through this alpha. So like when I say it's an alpha, I mean like there's no enemies to interact with. There's no like story that you can progress. You just have a bunch of these levels that are like up-resed and slightly altered versions of what was in the original Tomb Raider game. The lore model looks kind of, I'd say, pretty much on par with what we got from the Tomb Raider Anniversary for the most part. And there are just a couple of puzzles to do. And this is all currently available on the Internet Archive.
It looks neat. I never played those PS1 Tomb Raider games. They scared me as a child, and they looked too difficult, and I never touched them.
Yeah, like the old Tomb Raider games are very much like I think some of the first passable like 3D platformers
Yeah,
on like the PlayStation console. Um, and I'd say like what we got with the Crystal Dynamics version was a bit of a change. They had a lot of QTs in that '07 release that were just not in the original
I don't think I ever
game.
played that one.
It's not that great.
No,
I haven't played it in a while, but I don't remember liking it.
I would always lump the whatchamacallit, Tomb Raider games in the same place as my mind as like the Prince of Persia games, where they're just both like platformy in a way. I mean, except you got the guns and Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Well, there's like yeah, there is like a conversation that happens with those games, like the Prince of Persia games being like maybe like at first Ubisoft's answer to Square Enix's Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
So there's an interesting connection that could probably be explored there in a real way. Oh yeah, but I just think this is like neat. I think it's uh cool to have something like this available, and it looks like it's legally protected because it is like outdated software
Ah, cool.
that I don't think they can actually like that Square can legally take down.
Hmm. Well, we had some other stuff. Hitman 3. Uh,
Hitman 3.
Hitman 3. Also coming to VR with the first and second game's missions in here. Very wild. I'll let you get into it because I'm not as big of a Hitman guy. So give me the
Yeah.
takes.
Uh Hitman 3 is like it's like low key probably like the best video game to come out in the past 10 years. I say Hitman 3. I meant the Hitman series. We haven't played Hitman 3 yet. I haven't anyway. I'm very I don't know. In like a less hectic January, I'd be very excited. I'd be like chomping at the bit for this game. And so Hitman sort of like general concept is you are a hitman by the name of Agent 47. You go around various environments, hunting down targets and perhaps fulfilling secondary objectives to help you get to your target in very wild and wacky ways. You are a master of disguise to the point where you can literally knock out a man and take his outfit, and when you take his outfit, you also take his tattoos.
Yeah, and his personality. You are the guy. Nobody
Yeah,
questions it. It's great. It's a great dumb gameplay thing that just works.
yeah, it's incredibly beautiful. Um, and so like Hitman 3 is coming out, and we're getting a lot of like final previews of the game from various game sites, and they detail like the first two missions of Hitman 3, one of them being like a real Mission Impossible like Ghost Protocol sort of like rip, where you are in this giant skyscraper in Dubai, and you have to hunt down two targets, one of whom is going to, if you like speak with him as another hitman he's hired, will ask you to hunt down and kill a journalist. Which you don't like have to kill the journalist, but you can make it look like you've assassinated this fella, and then you get a private audience with him. So that's one way that you can like do this stuff.
Ah,
And
got
the
him.
second level sounds insane because it's basically putting you in the perspective of Daniel Craig's character from Knives Out. Um, which
How's that?
Travis.
I don't know anything
Oh,
about that.
you don't know anything about Knives Out? Hmm.
No, I've seen Knives Out, but is it you're in a mansion?
Yeah, like you're in. It's like it's a mansion murder mystery, right? It's like Knives Out being the Who Done It by Ryan Johnson. It's very much like harken back to Agatha Christie novels. You go to a manor, and it turns out there's been a murder, like a separate murder in this family estate, and you can pose as a private detective who's been hired by the family to look into the murder. And you can actually like follow this investigation through and find out who did the deed.
Who's your target in there anyway?
Um, so this is where things get a bit complicated because this is the third Hitman game, right? So your target is an old lady who is one of the founders of this um like let's go ahead and like use like the plain term, like an Illuminati, right? Like is a group of really rich people who basically own the world. And she's
Yeah.
like one of the people bankrolling it. It's like that's what you find out by the end of Hitman 2.
Uh,
And so Hitman 3 is gonna be this looks like it's gonna be you hunting down the Illuminati.
nice.
Um,
Just what I wanted.
though I imagine there's more going on here.
Yeah, and the VR stuff looks cool. I wonder how that's gonna play. I'm very curious. I want to watch people
Yeah,
get sick in that shit.
yeah, the VR stuff looks really like interesting because there are interactions that you can have in this VR mode that you like can't have in the main game,
Right, you
right?
can smack people on the neck with your fucking hand.
Well, I mean, yeah, like you can distract people by tapping them on the shoulder, which is not a thing that you can do in like normal Hitman, right? Like usually what you're doing is you're throwing a can or a coin somewhere and someone will walk over to pick it up and hopefully they walk to a position where like they aren't going to be seen by people. But in the VR mode, like this video, it shows like the character like tapping them on the shoulder, so they look behind them and then just smacking them in the back of the head.
It's pretty good. There's a bunch of pretty good little moments in this. Looks cool. God, I hope for a PS5 VR headset, but I think they're waiting. They're waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should also be noted that like the thing that this game does again that Hitman 2 did, which is like if you buy Hitman 3, it looks like you'll get like the other two Hitman games if you've already owned them, so you'll just get to play those games through the Hitman 3 program.
Which is wild. Nobody does that. No other game studio does that.
Yeah. Well, and the idea is that you've already paid for these, right? So that's one thing there, but it's so fascinating because they also get like the upgrades from Hitman 3, right? Like we saw this in Hitman 2 where like there would actually be reflections in mirrors, which there weren't in like the 2016 Hitman, like which was the first in the series.
Oh, was that 2016? Was that first game? Man,
I
time
believe
flies.
so. I believe it was 2016's Hitman was the first in IO's current like trilogy that they're doing.
And they got the
And
James Bond one coming out next. Should be cool.
God,
We'll see. Hey, maybe it'll be similar enough. You know, we'll see.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'd want anyone else to be doing it, but I also don't know if like I want IO to be like limited to the framework of the James Bond video game.
I mean, they might blow us away. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just gonna label all of these quickies, but Fortnite developer Epic, they bought a North Carolina mall for its new headquarters. So I thought that was wild. I guess you hear about tech companies buying a lot of malls because, as it turns out, nobody's using them. Austin.
Yeah, I mean, even before COVID hit, like we were in the middle of like a discourse around like are malls a thing of the past, like as we know them, and the idea that I say is wild though, like the idea that they are gonna have like something that large to serve as like a development campus is wild.
Yeah. This next one is the this shit fucking blew me away. Is that I guess they were just making Miis in Breath of the Wild because someone had a modded software where you can just throw your Miis into Breath of the Wild, pretty much. They're exactly the same. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, yeah, like you have a large repository of generic people faces, and like you've never really made a game like this before. What are you gonna do? You just gonna not use that?
Just make them a Mii.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
pretty cool.
exactly. Especially when you consider that like most of these interactions aren't that important, and you also need to be able to randomly generate people, so like you can have people who don't look the same when they turn into like before they turn into ninjas that try to kill you, right?
Yeah, and this is just a stepping stone for me to say bring Wii Sports to the fucking Switch. I want that. I will give you $40, Nintendo.
I don't.
I would. I
I
love
don't.
Wii Sports.
I mean, yeah, like Wii Sports is great, but Wii Sports is like great because it was on the Wii in a real way.
Yeah, but you could do that with the nunchucks. Just
Yeah, but you don't.
bundle Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort together and sell it to me
Yeah,
again.
but then you also like cut off like an entire section of like your audience, right? Because I can't really buy Wii Sports and play it in an interesting way with the Switch Lite.
Well, I guess you should get good, Austin. That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe they do a thing where you buy a second set of Joy-Con and you put your Switch up and then you play it with your Joy-Cons.
Yeah, just go ahead and leave my yeah. So okay, so I need to spend like another what, $80?
Oh, never mind. You could. Oh yeah, I forgot. Your Joy-Cons don't pop off. I was like, yeah, why don't you just pop your Joy-Cons off to play it?
They
But
don't
they don't
have
pop off,
Joy-Cons.
Austin.
Well, yeah, I didn't need to spend another $100. on Joy-Cons that pop off, and like a 2-inch bigger screen, and like a little kickstand plastic bit.
Or the biggest part is HDMI output. It's
Yeah,
very
I was never gonna put that on a TV.
yeah. I
Like, I don't need to see The Witcher 3 run on a Switch on my TV. It looked horrid.
yeah. I it's for different people, different lifestyles.
Exactly. And that's why I bought a light.
Hey, a lot of people are buying it. I think that is the key component to like why that console is selling so well right now. More so than it did before, because it's just the easier way to get it into people's hands.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I did not move a lot of lights around this holiday season. Most of what I was moving were just like regular Switches.
Yeah. The more Nintendo news is Nintendo acquired Next Level Studios, which is the people who made Luigi's Mansion 3, and I did not realize it was a Canadian studio who made Luigi's Mansion 3. I thought that was just like a Nintendo studio. I need to buy that game. That game, have you played it yet? It's amazing.
No,
Oh, it's wild.
I've never liked Luigi's Mansion, so
Oh, it's so fun.
not in my experience.
Luigi. Let me tell you about Luigi.
I know all about Luigi.
Yeah.
I know everything I need to know about that curse.
Yeah. Man, I might buy this right now. I'm gonna see how much this is on eBay. Let's go. That's cool. Nintendo's scooping up getting their studios set up. Maybe Luigi's Mansion 4 confirmed.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Right, like
Yeah.
now it's an in-house thing. They'll be able to like do something more with like a Luigi's Mansion sequel.
Yeah. Some chatter going on about a new Respawn game. Something about Adventure Forever. I'm if I'm thinking about this at all, it might be like a loot game. Who knows? Who knows what it could be, Austin? It could be anything.
Just give me Titanfall 3.
Yeah, what if it's Titanfall 3 plus Destiny? So I was thinking about that. It's like, oh yeah, your ult could be you just like getting into the robot suit like in Borderlands, and then you're just murdering people for like 2 minutes.
Stop.
Who knows?
That's such an uninteresting direction to take that in.
Would it be though? Could be good.
Yeah, it would be.
Why?
Because I have no interest in that type of game.
What, making the numbers go up?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it holds something for people.
I mean, it definitely does. Like, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason these damn things are so popular. People like them. But also, I don't know if Respawn's going to be able to make one that's going to have legs.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. It could. It could though. If they've got the pedigree for it.
I mean, they have the pedigree of like making a good shooter. I don't know if they have the pedigree of making a good the numbers are going up game. Let's keep playing it.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be like the Division 2 came and went. Like people aren't still playing that game. It's just like a little
Division 2 is
longer.
considered a failure.
Did it not sell that? I thought it sold pretty well.
Like it sold fine, but like the objective with those games is to keep people there.
I would disagree with that. The Division 1 I played it with my friends. We beat the campaign, we did some of the missions after that, and then we went off and played different games after.
Like that's what you did. That's not what Ubisoft wants you to do.
No, but I think a game can be successful if I only play it for 4 or 5 months. Like my definition and like Ubisoft's definition are different,
Yeah, but you're not the one bankrolling the game.
No, but I think like they're for those people who play it longer, like I'm sure, like my friend is still playing Borderlands 3, and he'll like make a new character and do some stuff in it. People beat games and move on. Like I would be interested in a Respawn like shooter RPG with gear and stuff. I don't know. That's just like a difference in like what you and I want from the studio. That's all.
Well, I mean, that's like we're not even like arguing about differences in what we want. We're arguing about differences in like what the corporation wants you to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it'd be cool if they did that.
I can't say I'd be interested.
It's all right. Let's see. This other one is Among Us is 2020's most downloaded mobile game. Hey, go Among Us. I should play that more. And then a Nier Automata cheat code came out like 4 years. I think it just you're in the first area and it just like will beat the game for you, I guess.
Yeah, so this cheat code is you are in the like prologue area, right? So this is in the area of the game where you are in a foundry hunting robots. You haven't even gotten to the point where you really understand like who you are or what you're doing. You actually can't even save yet, is the thing. Is kind of the big thing with this area. And it looks like this person is moving in between some barrels right after they meet the supporting character, and then you are brought to the like ending outro, which is where you write a message in the credits for players who are struggling with the final portion of that game.
It's kind of weird. You get the heavy armor A and B, and you get a debug menu. I don't know. I bought Nier for $20, so the other reason I threw this up here, I might go beat that. I might go beat Nier. I'm down.
I
Maybe
mean,
I'll get this cheat code and get the armor. And do it.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty great video game.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's it for news. We are going to come back and talk about some of the games we played. We played some Remnant, Austin. I keep thoroughly enjoying that game.
Yeah, it has. I guess we started doing the DLC, and that's been pretty well and good so far.
Yeah. All right. Where can you find you at?
If you really need to, I'm on my own. You can find me on Twitter at 2
And I'm at Travis